Benjamin Franklin's double life, the genius, rebel, and prankster who shaped America. Have you ever wondered why a guy who flew a kite in a thunderstorm ended up on our $100 bill? Well, buckle up. Because Benjamin Franklin wasn't just some old dude with spectacles and wild hair. He was America's original Renaissance man, notorious prankster, and possibly the most fascinating character in American history. Let me ask you this. What other founding father wrote articles under fake female identities, swam naked daily well into his elderly years, and invented bifocals because he got tired of switching between two pairs of glasses? That's right, only Benjamin Franklin. Born in Boston in 1706 as the 15th child of 17 siblings, Franklin seemed destined for an ordinary life making candles in his father's shop. But young Ben had other plans. At age 12, he became an apprentice at his brother's printing press, where he secretly wrote letters under the pseudonym Silence Doe Good, a middle-aged widow he completely made up. These witty letters became hugely popular in Boston, and no one suspected they were written by a teenager. But Franklin wasn't content just stirring up his hometown. At 17, he ran away to Philadelphia with barely any money in his pockets. Picture this. A disheveled teenager walking down the street with 3 large rolls of bread, one under each arm, and eating the third. That was Franklin's grand entrance to the city, where he would later make history. Now, we all know Franklin for his electricity experiments, but did you know he conducted them mostly for fun? While others saw lightning as God's wrath, Franklin saw it as a puzzle to solve. In 1752, he flew that famous kite during a thunderstorm, proving lightning was electrical and leading to his invention of the lightning rod. Just imagine explaining to your insurance company today that you decided to fly a metal-keyed kite in a thunderstorm for science. But Franklin's contributions went way beyond electrifying discoveries. Take a look around your home. His innovations are everywhere. Reading glasses, Franklin invented bifocals. Enjoying your fireplace without smoke filling the room? Thank Franklin's improved stove design. Even that library card in your wallet exists because Franklin created America's first lending library. Franklin believed knowledge shouldn't be reserved for the wealthy, so he established institutions we take for granted today. The University of Pennsylvania began as Franklin's Academy. America's first hospital? That was his idea, too. Even the fire department traces back to Franklin's Fire Club in Philadelphia. Now here's where things get really interesting. While creating all these innovations, Franklin was also living a double life as America's first international celebrity. In France, where he served as America's diplomat during the Revolution, the French absolutely adored him. His picture appeared on snuff boxes, rings, watches, and even chamber pots. Yes, people literally wanted to poop on images of Franklin, and that was considered a compliment. Speaking of France, Franklin was quite the ladies' man in his elder years. At age 70, while representing America abroad, he charmed his way through French high society with his simple American style, deliberately wearing a plain fur cap instead of a powdered wig to play up his image as a rustic genius from the New World. The French ate it up, and Franklin leveraged this popularity to secure crucial loans and military support that helped America win independence. But Franklin's genius extended to understanding human psychology. Take his approach to dealing with rivals. When a fellow legislator opposed him, rather than making an enemy, Franklin borrowed a rare book from this man's library. The flattered opponent soon became a friend. Franklin later wrote, "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged." This Franklin effect is still taught in psychology classes today. And talk about strange daily habits. Franklin was a huge believer in what he called air baths, basically standing naked by an open window for an hour each morning while reading or writing. He claimed this practice kept him healthy. And who are we to argue with a man who lived to 84 in an era when the average life expectancy was under 40? Franklin's unconventional thinking applied to everything. He created America's first political cartoon, a snake cut into pieces with the caption, "Join or Die," urging colonial unity. He published Poor Richard's Almanac filled with witty sayings we still quote today, like, "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." Though ironically, Franklin himself often stayed up late playing chess and drinking with friends. But beneath the humor and inventions was a complicated man. Franklin owned slaves for much of his life, before becoming an abolitionist in his final years. He had a strained relationship with his son, William, who remained loyal to Britain during the Revolution. Their political divide created a permanent family fracture, showing how the birth of America tore apart even the most prominent families. As he aged, Franklin became more introspective. He developed his famous 13 Virtues system, tracking his progress daily in a little book. Rather than trying to master all virtues at once, he focused on one per week, cycling through them 4 times a year. Even then, he admitted frequent failures, particularly with his commitment to temperance when faced with good food and wine. What truly set Franklin apart was his relentless curiosity. When he noticed mail from Britain took longer to reach America than ships going the opposite direction, he mapped the Gulf Stream, revolutionizing transatlantic shipping routes. When he found himself repeatedly answering questions about America, he created America's first information database, sending questionnaires throughout the colonies to compile accurate facts and figures. In his final significant public act, the 81-year-old Franklin attended the Constitutional Convention in 1787, where his compromise proposals helped bridge differences between large and small states. His final public campaign was writing anti-slavery essays and petitioning Congress to end slavery, signing his name to a document presented to the first Congress under the new Constitution. When Franklin died in 1790, an estimated 20,000 people attended his funeral, almost half of Philadelphia's population. But his most enduring legacy might be his autobiography, where he created the quintessential American success story, the self-made individual who rises through hard work, determination, and ingenuity. So, next time you pull out a $100 bill, remember you're not just looking at a founding father. You're looking at America's original scientist, inventor, writer, diplomat, prankster, and self-improvement guru. A man who shaped our nation while refusing to fit any conventional mold. If you enjoyed learning about Benjamin Franklin's double life, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos about the fascinating figures who shaped our world. And tell me in the comments, which of Franklin's many inventions or ideas do you find most impressive? Until next time, remember Franklin's own words. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing.